everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whole Lotta Bogeys interview series. We have a very special guest today. We have the owner of RIPIT Grips. You've seen these all over social media. They have the dopest designs that you can find. And we're here today with Todd Watts. Todd, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to the people.
How you doing, guys? Todd, RIPIT founder. Little Aussie bloke living on the Gold Coast of Australia and just do what he can to knock a couple of other golf companies off their podium.
100%.
Hell yeah, love to hear it. Yeah, you said you're on vacation right now?
Yeah, man, on vacation. Yeah, we left here about 4 or 5 days ago.
Nice.
And we're just on this quaint little town south of the border. And mate, there's probably one pub and a whole lot of surfing, and that's about all that gets done right here, eh?
That's awesome.
Nice,
That's all you need, though. You just need somewhere to go pick up a pint and somewhere to go catch a wave. So
100%.
That's it.
Yeah,
Awesome. You know,
like we said, thanks for taking the time out of your vacation to come talk to us. Super excited for this one. And yeah,
100%.
Can't wait to just
gotta let the viewers know what time it is over there where you're at. Todd got up today to talk to us at like 5:45 in the morning. That's dedication and commitment to the brand. 100% respect.
Sounds better than what it is, boys. This is my go time. This is me right now. This is like from 4:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. is like my crunch time. Anytime after that, I'm useless. So I'm glad it's not an Arvo interview because I wouldn't be as animated, that's for sure.
There we go.
Dude, that's awesome that you're just like an early riser, early bird. Because I mean, you're getting the worm. You know what I mean? You're catching the waves that no one else is gonna catch. You're getting the best of everything.
Yeah, you live almost like a second life when you get up that early. Like I've heard a lot of people talk about that. You get those extra 3-4 hours when everyone's still sleeping. You can get a lot done for sure.
Without a doubt, man. It's like, to be honest, it's like time moves slower at this period of the morning because you're just like cranking through things. Your brain's on fire. Everything's going. There's no stresses. There's no one like coming in to mess with what you're doing. It's insane. And mate, even the surf, I was out on dark, paddled out on dark, watched the sunrise out there, caught 2 or 3 waves, come back in, helped with my kid, got him up, got him breakfast, set him up, and now interview with the boys. And it's only 5:45. I mean,
it's fantastic. It's a great way to start the day.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. So just to give the guys watching a little bit of an idea as well. So RIPIT's going to offer roughly 25 different colorways on their grips. And these grips are going to be standard size with a little bit wider of a diameter, I believe, and a gentle taper. And that's going to ensure that like your swing speed's going to be going up. Club's going to be comfortable in your hands. And it's taking a lot of that question out too. And I like that you guys kind of simplified it for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess my goal when I started this, and this is going back 4 years now. We only launched 15 months ago, but this whole plan started 4 years ago. So really, there was nothing even on the drawing board for about 2 years. We spent that whole time just R&D, and I mean everything from rubber compositions to shapes to then also testing all the designs, the colors, and how it's going to work. With how we wanted to promote our grips, obviously it's confusing, the grip market out there, man. If you don't get to touch and feel every grip, you don't know what's going on, So what we wanted to do is just give everyone a singular option, simplify the options. I know that grip works. I went through about 100 different shapes of grips to find something that was not so pro-based in terms of, which a lot of them are using the thicker grip now anyway. I mean, we can go to the extremes and go to Brighton.
Yeah, those jumbo Rory's, grips.
100%, man. But even like your Rorys, your Justin Thomases, they're all actually adding an additional layer of half a tape at the tail end of their grip. Now that's to promote that thicker grip and that slower taper to the tail end of the grip. So look, man, I did as much research as possible. I did as much time and spent, talking to pros, talking to friends, so talking to handicappers in 25, talking to plus fivers, so we did the time, we did the research, we found something that suits everyone. And proof's in the pudding, man. I haven't had I'm so stoked about this because for me, feedback is one of the most important things. I haven't had a single piece of negative feedback in terms of 1, the shape, and 2, the quality of the rubber and the quality of the designs too. So, mate, we just put as much effort into it as possible to get it right the first time round. So we've just got a single shape online, which I'll let you boys know first. There is something coming in the works of a jumbo range.
Let's go.
A little sneak preview.
And an undersized range. Undersized range is to account from, different demographics throughout the world because, you know, obviously we do change. We come in all shapes and sizes, and I've got to cater to both ends of that spectrum. So that's coming too, boys, which is good. But that standard plus size grip just suits everyone. You know, I mean, I've got plenty of females that are using them. I've got plenty of lads that are using them that are 6'4". I've got lads that are using them that are 5'5". But it's just a beautiful, comfortable grip that relaxes the hands, and then in turn increases that swing speed. And I love that you did your research too, bro. That was good to hear.
100%. You know, we got our little iPad out here with all of our notes ready to go, making sure that we're versed on the material.
We're on deck for sure. Yeah, I definitely wanted to hit on the functionality of your grips, because obviously the appeal at first is the designs. You know what I mean? People see them, they've never seen a grip like that before. But the functionality with the slow taper and everything like that, that's really interesting to hear about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, going back to the composition of the rubber too, I mean, that's stuff that like the average golfer is not thinking about. And it's awesome that you're thinking about it, because that's who needs to be, like, the people that are making these grips and doing the research and everything. Like, it's awesome. And I feel like all the viewers listening are going to be like, damn, there's a lot of research, a lot of thought that went into this, not just a couple drawings on the grip, you know? And it's almost like the design on the grip is the added perk. Like in my head, being like, I want to have the most comfortable grip with the tackiest feel that looks cool, double down and get it. And then that's like almost like the pull the trigger point, you know? So
exactly.
Tick, tick, man. Tick, tick, tick. I mean, look, dude, literally for 12 months, I felt like a chemist, like going back and forward. And I went through like 10 or 15 different suppliers in the initial stages of this business, because I've done a lot of sourcing in the past. I own a couple other businesses with my wife, and I've done a lot of importing, a lot of sourcing, a lot of manufacturing. So I had my handles on every stage, but literally felt like a chemist for 12 months, man. I didn't understand about, you know, the level of what needs to go into a rubber component. No, it's not just 100% rubber, spit that thing out. That's not how it works, you know. There's multiple additives. There's synthetic rubber, there's natural rubber, there's additives that aid in wear, there's additives that aid in tackiness, there's additives that soften the rubber, there's additives that repel sunlight and make it, you know, the UV less resistant. So it was like just this game of like certain little bits of this, certain little bits of that. And I use samples, you know, to guide me. You know, I use what I loved. I won't plug them here, but I use grips from other companies that I love to put. I'm not an idiot, man. Let's wean out the need for me to make more mistakes by using something that's done right previously, and pulling that and pulling the information from that and putting it into what I want to do. So
it's kind of like using the test to take the test back in school, you know, like trying to see what you're looking at and take what you got.
I got this little grommy over here who's an absolute lad.
That's awesome. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy, you want to say good day to everyone? No, he's got nothing for you.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's an incredible sunset you're looking at there too, or sunrise, I should say.
What's that?
A little different timing.
Dig a truck. You just pick a show, buddy, and I'm in a meeting with the boys, and you pick a show, and I'll come back to it. All right? Can we pause for 2 minutes, boys?
Yeah, of course. No worries.
Of course.
There we go, lads. Sorted him out. That'll get me another 20 minutes.
Right, perfect. Nice. Nah, no worries. No worries.
Yeah, she's a beautiful view, man. The sunset, the sunrise this morning, was phenomenal. Like literally insane. And the waves are cooking. Absolutely on fire. So it's been a good trip.
Yeah, another perk of getting up that early. You get to catch every sunrise, I would assume. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it. The best time of the day. I guarantee it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
So, like with the grips and everything too, I mean, some of the grips that are, some of the hands that these grips are in are very, very notable. And I think that that's another thing too, that anyone who's seen your social media has been like, holy, is that Mac Boucher swinging a RIPIT grip right now? Like, oh my, is that J.R. Smith popping up to the tent and grabbing some grips? Alice Cooper?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah,
crazy. Like, man. Super cool seeing you guys like reach out to all these guys and getting grips in their hands and seeing them like it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's also just like killer marketing, you know,
for sure. Like to hear maybe the story behind how you got in contact with some of those guys and kind of just the story behind that.
So I got to plug someone here because this boy's been an absolute legend. And I'll start with saying it's funny how small the golf industry is, like since entering the industry and sort of having a product that is a niche so that people would be interested in no matter what has honestly helped like a heap. But I've got to plug my boy Sergio from Grips on the Go. I don't know if you've heard of this lad.
Just follow them today.
Yeah, man. He's a freaking legend, right? So this lad, I got in contact with him pretty early on. I saw what he was doing and like I really liked what he was doing in terms of who is putting grips on for, but not only that, but how he represented himself and represented his brand. I've come into this with a very relaxed approach, an enjoyable approach. I've done this as, a business that I wanted to really like enjoy and take time and have pride in. So I feel like he had the same aspect on with what he was doing. So he applies grips on at that point, right? And he's devised a special formula where the solvent actually dries so quick, or the tape dries so quick that he's able to like put them on and you can swing with them within like 3 to 5 minutes. So
Oh, wow.
awesome. Dude, it's insane, man. So he's at all these tournaments based on a tee box. He's throwing grips onto the tee box. Dudes are putting them on literally within 5 minutes. They're banging a drive down the fairway and bombing one with a new grip. It's insane, man. But it's not just his product. It's also the way that, he is and the human he is. So people just love him, man. He's a good bloke. Anyway, so joined up with him. He obviously loved what I was doing. I loved what he was doing. It was a match made in heaven. He'd been slinging Golf Pride and Lambkin for a long time and still does. But we've joined the team there in terms of a spot on the table. And yeah, man, it's up to the guests too. So nothing's forced upon them. They get to pick what they want to pick, and he reckons that that RIPIT are flying off the tables comparative to the other two. So, but man, that's been access to. So that's your Alice Cooper, your J.R. Smith, your Chris Comos. I didn't get any footage of this one, but Caitlyn Jenner's out there using them.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. That's incredible.
Dude, it's insane. Yeah. And we've got tournaments coming up, insane tournaments coming up in May. It's going to be banger too. But then you got players like Matt Fuchs, you've got Ron Chopper, you've got all these like YouTube personalities where this was something that I wanted to push. And it's not like my proudest moment, but like slinging shit over Instagram and like contacting people over socials. And like, I was never a big social guy starting RIPIT, which I knew that had to change. But just contacting people, showing them what we got. And if they're interested, I'm like, don't do nothing. Take a grip, touch it first. Once you like it, once you see what you like, and once you like it, then throw it on your club. Once you like it, then on your club, do what you want to do. You want to post it, you want to use it, you want to rip it off, you want to sledge it, you want to promote it. That's all up to you, man. So I let the product do the speaking. I'm so proud of what I've done. I've got so much confidence in that product itself that I just had no qualms, man. Like, I mean, you boys, I hope, one, if you don't have any, we get you some, or two, if you've used them before. Man,
love to rep the brand.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's all in the house. Again, this is just what I do. My goal for the first 2 years of this business was literally in my head when I ordered my first stock holding 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, and it landed on the shores. I literally said, all right, I'm going to hand out every single unit of this order. It's going for free. It didn't work out like that because sales started rolling in the next day, which I was dropped on. But in my head, I was just like, I just want to gift them, man. I want to go worldwide. This is an expense I'm willing to take. One, I want the feedback. And two, I mean, there's no better way to market your product than word of mouth and getting that quality out there. So, dude, I tried it and it just worked, man. I mean, look, I had Roger Steele using them for a bit too. He was loving them. There's just like mate, it's insane. The people I've met through this business is just like, I wake up every morning like thinking, all right, we're going to have a normal week this week, right? Nothing insane's going to happen. By Thursday, like Alice Cooper's picked them up and I'm just like mind blowing, like
crazy.
It's insane. So
Dude,
it's been really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
For sure. I mean, that's what comes with having full confidence in your product and knowing that your product is the best. You get it into somebody's hands, you know that they're going to want to tell anybody and everybody who's going to listen about that grip and how it helped their game and how they like looking at it and pulling it out of the bag. And we did an interview with Bill Halawadi from Mira Irons, and he said that the best marketing, the best promoters for your products are the guys who like it. They're going to tell everybody. And it's so true. Like you go play around with a buddy and he's got a new stick in the bag or he's got a new ball, new grip. He's going to show you. Like he's going to want to talk about it. And if he starts playing better than you, guess what you're doing when you're done? You're going to go pick one up yourself, you know? So
yeah. And going back to all that, all the testing and all the qualifications that you did, it makes it easy for you. Like you said, when you hand these out, like there's no qualms. You're not worried about it because it's a great product, for sure.
Well,
so that's great.
Man, you make a good point there, man. Because like my hardest, and I knew this coming into it, my hardest hurdle, like the highest hurdle, was going to be like getting people's trust in the performance, right? Like golf, we all base golf around, buying apparel and buying golf bags, golf head covers. None of those like influence performance, right? So I knew I was entering a game where without individuals' trust on performance and on the time and effort that I put into specs, I can write some shit on the website, or I can write some shit on some posts and like say their performance specs. But really, until individuals start using them and start like handing out that information to people around them, you don't gain trust, right? So that was going to be my biggest hurdle, was getting people's trust in the performance of the product. So, man, I knew the only way to do that was to just get them out there. Just get them out there, because if you see RIPIT Grips but you've never heard of anyone using them, you're not really going to give them a whack, are you? You're not going to give them a try. So, man, it's just worked wonders. That whole marketing, that word of mouth marketing, that positive reinforcement, it's just been it's been insane, man. It's been really cool.
Definitely,
really
yeah.
cool.
And getting it in the hands of someone like Mac Boucher too. Anyone who golfs and watches him and sees him using the RIPIT Grips, we know that they're functional. You know what I mean? They're good. You know, so that's having it in the hands of someone like that is probably super.
For sure. It's great. He tags everybody too. And I remember when I first saw him using the RIPIT Grips, I was like, is that the Maryland he's got on his driver?
Yeah.
And then I click on the little tag thing. I scroll through. I'm like, RIPIT Grips, 100%. And I was like, it's super
100%.
dope. Yeah. While we're on the topic of the Maryland too, that's got to be one of the coolest designs for not only a grip, but that tube head cover, the towel. Like you can double down on that, and it's sick as fuck. Like it's awesome. And
so nice, man. That pin-up vibe. We've got a new variant of that exact grip coming, and then because we've sold out a few of those. Yeah. And then, hey, hey, buddy, do you want to come and be in this interview because you're loud enough to be?
Come on over.
I was gonna say,
come on over, man. You want to pick something? You can pick something else.
I wish we had a window in here.
There you go.
Because then we'd be able to be like, oh yeah, you're here, and then we could pan over to the road that's like all icy and snowy and just bad out there.
Oh, dude, mate, I love the snow. So look, it's not the end of the world if you ask me.
Yeah, you ever done any skiing or snowboarding?
Yeah, man. So my dad was like an avid lover of the snow and skiing. So for the first, I don't know, since I was like 6, we'd travel once a year over to places in Canada, Vancouver. We do the whole Big White, Silver Star, all that sort of jazz. So, man, that was every year we'd travel over to what you guys have at probably like February usually, like late season.
That's peak. Golf and skiing are like very similar in the sense of you get to these resorts and like you. To the naked eye, people would be like, oh, it's just another ski slope, or oh, it's just another golf course. But it's like, no. You stop when you're at the top of that lift and you look around and you're like, holy shit, like, this is it. This is different. Yeah. And like same with these courses. Like we've been doing a lot of traveling for golf recently and playing a lot of different areas. And it's like just being in like Maryland or North Carolina or Virginia and golfing, comparing it to Buffalo, like you look around, right away you're not in Buffalo. Like it's completely
100%,
different.
man.
Right.
100%. I think like, mate, I can relate with surfing. It's all those sports, those outdoor sports. We're doing it because we love to be in the environment. It's not just like the actual sport itself, but it's like being out there and like seeing the different landscapes or like just, I don't know, being absorbed in nature, man. There's no better thing for me than just being in and about something. Sure. And then adding competition on top of that is just like pinnacle, bro. You know what I mean? Like
being able to throw 5 down with your buddy when you get to the tee box it's great.
Yeah, there's something about just being at the course or being, like you said, in the environment, just look around, hear the birds chirping, sunshine, blue skies, whatever it is. It's all great. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
Super
but
cool.
back on Maryland too. So yeah, I've got a V2 Maryland coming. We're tidied up the design a little bit, and we've got her coming before the end of the year. And then we've got a new pin-up design too, of something with a lot of other pin-up girls. It's actually called pin-up hunting. So that's easy.
Okay, I like it.
Clever.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
Speaking of the designs too, just talking about the 2023 drops, so like the most recent ones, we're gonna have the Mary Jane, which is super cool. Everybody, I mean, that probably is the one other than the Maryland I see the most. I love seeing that one.
That's fantastic.
The Take a Trip. The Take a Trip right now is sold out in the sky blue, so that one had to have been a hit. That was a super dope colorway. Still available in the navy if anyone wants to pick it up. And then you got your traditional Uncle Sam with the like red, white, and blue stars and stripes. And then finishing it off with the Bones, which I really like that one too, because it's more of like the black grip with the orange highlight, and you got to look a little closer, So if somebody were to look at it from afar, they're like, oh, it's a grip. And then you get a little closer, you're like, it's a really fucking cool grip. So
100%, man, you nailed it. And it's like funny because I know like every single release we've done coming forward, and like obviously you guys have only probably seen that one recently, but I've had more and more grips as we go through. Like I update little things, and I'm always tweaking, just do a little bit better. So every release, every design, every single growth in terms of like, I'm not just talking details, but also like rubber specs as well. We're sort of like tweaking a little bit and just improving as we go. So it's been a really cool ride, man, and we're just going to get better and better and better each year. We've got this really sick art series coming this year too, which was rad. I collaborated with 3 different artists, one out of Japan, one out of the States, and one out of South America. And then dude, the shit that's coming with those designs were absolutely fire. So we're calling it the art series, and the designs are sick, and it's just diversifying the range too. You know, I don't want to be so pinheaded and like, I want to stay on brand. Don't get me wrong, but we don't want to be like so like narrow-minded. So I just love that we can sort of expand and we can sort of involve other people within the game or outside the game. Some of these players, these artists don't even know what golf is, and bring it in, and they're just like, dude, the designs are so sick. So it's been, we've got that coming. We've got the pin-up hunting coming. We've got the new Maryland coming. We've got 2 new putter grips coming. We've got
new putter grips. Okay.
2 new putter grips, bro, and it might be one of our most popular designs on a putter grip, which I've been getting asked for. So,
nice.
Yeah, dude, yeah, it's going to be sick. So we've got that coming. We've got a new shape of putter grip. We've got new shape of grips coming. I've updated the packaging of the sets, dude. It's going to be like this year.
Big 2023.
I was gonna say a lot of stuff on the horizon coming. Yeah.
Well, if you're not moving forward, you're going backwards, boys. That's
100%.
Couldn't agree more.
Got to keep kicking.
Absolutely.
And for everyone too, you mentioned a new putter shape for the grips. Currently you have the Orbit, which is going to be like your more rounded grip, and then the squared off face one as well. So having a third integration too is just giving people more options, because putting is kind of like, not like it's almost like the opposite in my head of like the iron grip. Like I love that you simplified the iron grip and got something universal that you just know you're going to like. And then putting is like, there's more options. You know, everyone has a different grip when they're putting. Everyone wants a different field. There's different putter head styles, and like everything is very subjective in putting. And it's cool to see that you're integrating that third option as well, and with the new colorway. So that's super cool.
Right. 100%, man. You got to be adaptive. And look, I'm watching the market every day and what's popular in the market. And obviously Scotty Cameron's are obviously going fire worldwide right now. But not only that, the blade putters are sort of coming back in pretty hot.
Yeah.
So along with the blade comes that skinnier grip, and with that skinnier grip, I've got to jump on board, man. I've got to give people options, because there's no one else out there offering that performance crossword style in terms of grips. You know, you've got a couple of people doing putter grips here and there, but not to like throw them under the bus, but like I feel like there's not as much effort gone into just being, you know, truly design focused in terms of, you know, being able to supply something that's different. You know, I'm not talking about, you know, Hawaiian flowers or, you know, your stock standard skull and bones. You can see the difference between our skull and bones designs on the bones compared to like your standard skull and bones designs for everyone else. You know, we're going hammer on the art, and we're going hammer on the detail.
It kind of goes back to like that mission statement on your website, where it's like golf clubs are an extension of your body, so why shouldn't they be an extension of your style? You know, so
100%, bro.
No cutting corners. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's so much effort put into everyone, like dressing up, doing their head covers, doing their bags. I mean, it's funny, man, because I was talking to a golfer, like a mate golfer the other day, and we're like, it's so funny how we probably put more effort into and spend more money on looking good on the course as opposed to the money spent to just getting better at the game.
Yeah,
and it's so funny, bro. But look, looking good definitely, I feel like, gives you confidence, and confidence is literally the best medicine for golf. You know, if you come in over the ball feeling good about it, it's insane. And dude, this is the thing about the grip. I've had literally 1,000 people hit me up and be like, dude, I just played my best round I've ever played, or mate, oh my God, I put your grips on yesterday, man. I just hit my lowest score yesterday, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, it's
gotta be the best feeling. Oh yeah.
It's the confidence is in, so you pull out a club that looks unique and looks different. The confidence in your game just skyrockets, dude. It's insane.
What's up?
Yeah, say g'day, boys.
It's early.
Yeah. He's in TV mode, mate. We'll get out there. Do you want to go surfing today? What do you want to do today? Go bike riding? Yeah, bike riding. Or do you want to go play golf?
Oh, golf.
Like, yeah, I've got him in. He's in, man. It's like our
Dude, that's
kind
awesome.
of way is, look, he doesn't do much golf, but he drives a lot of the buggy. And that's for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, whatever's
That's
having fun,
fantastic.
whatever's getting him on the course, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
100%, man. He loves it. So
Yeah.
it's been
So
good. But yeah, man, it's been good. That feedback itself in terms of just like the confidence it gives players, it's been insane. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're talking about all your designs and stuff like that. I'd love to hear about the design process, kind of from like the initial draw up of it to bringing it to production. Like, how does that come about? How do you get to all the designs and everything like that?
So
How do you come up with them, I should say.
to be honest, I've got a list a mile long where I'm like constantly, let me set him up and I'll come back and answer this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So process. So really, like, I've got a list a mile long in terms of designs, right? So like, and I'm talking the most tweaked out. If there's one thing I've been able to do, it's like, it's come up with really rare ideas. And then I have like people within our team that somehow understand my whacked ass brain. So when I can't put pen to paper, right? I've never been like an artist in terms of being able to draw. I don't know how people do it. Like, it's phenomenal to me. I'm like gobsmacked when people put pen to paper and just bring something beautiful to life.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got all the ideas up here. So then I try and verbalize them and try and explain it to one, my artist, or two, like our in-house marketer. And somehow we start to come to a mood board on Pinterest. Then we start to elevate to like a mood board with sketches. And then we start to focus heavily on being able to manipulate that design to aid, one, in hand placement, two, in like conformity around the grip and make sure that it feels the same wherever you're holding it. And then three, obviously, like aid in the grip as well. So make sure that it's grippy, but not too grippy. Do we want to push this more to like a cord feel where it's like nice and grippy? Do we want to push this towards more of like a velvet style feel where it's like nice and sleek and soft on the hand? You know, and that's obviously more your wedge game this side, and this side more of like, well, depending on the player, but more your irons up, long irons in, your faster swing speeds. So we just start off with an idea and we literally just bounce. They'll throw drawings at me. Like they've probably 15 designs that we get to the end and we're like, nah, let's put that thing away, like it's not right. And then there's ones where just like, they just elevate. And Mary Jane being a perfect example, man. Mm-hmm. Like where we started and where we got to with that was just like, it just came out so tidy and so clean and just like, it said everything it needs to say. But if you feel that grip, bro, if you like hold that grip in your hand, it is just such like the confidence, even if you had your eyes closed, right, and you didn't know what was on the grip, the confidence you have, like when you hold that grip, it's just soft, it's like tacky, it's like velvety, but it's like grippy. So you've got like that relaxed handle, but the club feels like it's never gone anywhere. It works in like humid weather, it works in cold weather. It's just like the designs as we go, we're understanding more and more what boundaries we can push in terms of like intricate background prints or where those thick lines lay, where the thin lines need to lay. It's like the further and the more boundaries we know we can push, the deeper we can go into the design and more detailed we can go into the design. So it's like that whole process from the design is really, really important. And then transitioning that to the manufacturer, there's always a little bit of a barrier there. So, we've either gone too hard in terms of the hand paint and the intricacy of the design, like next to the paint lines, like they either say, oh, too tight, or we can do this, or can we change it to here? So luckily, the manufacturer, which was really important in my initial stages of selection, the communication's been insane. And the amount of work they're willing to do on testing and R&D of each design has just been so like beneficial to our game too. So, I don't know, that design process is so important because really it doesn't just present the actual design itself, it presents the performance too, so it's been really cool that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that whole part, like integrating the design with the functionality of the club.
I was just about to say,
with the hand placement and everything like that. That's not something a lot of people think about.
Yeah, and you mentioned like no matter where you're gripping it, you're not gonna like feel something different, and that I think is crucial too. And like you're just getting a uniform feel, and every time you grab that club, you feel the same exact thing, and like that's just gonna kind of build in that like added muscle memory, I guess. Like, oh, I hit a good shot when I held this. Like I feel good right now. Like it's just that confidence we were talking about.
Definitely.
Exactly, man. I mean, look, like again, we were changing the game, and we there's going to be people out there that are too worried to use it because they're too scared their game's going to go belly up. And I understand that. That's fine. You know, it is what it is. But once they use it, once they understand the amount of like effort, well, they will. As soon as they hold it, they'll understand the amount of effort that's gone into this thing to be as perfect as what it is. Dude, I just love it, man. I'm so proud of it, and I'm so like confident behind the product and the performance of the product. And look, hey mate, you know, it's not perfect yet. Don't get me wrong, but things will never be perfect in my eyes. It might be perfect in yours or someone else's, but it's never perfect in mine. So I'm here to grow what we do and grow the game along with it, man. And just like, you know, push the boundaries. You know, I'm waiting to see Lemkin or Golf Ride try to come out with something similar. It's
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was waiting. I was gonna ask you if you've ever like thought about like one of those like big name brands kind of trying to like get into that niche or like go in there, because I truly don't think they would succeed with you already there, if that makes sense. I think that you guys have that dominated and everyone who's playing it plays well. So I don't see why they would do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, to be honest, I think, and not to spend too much time on them, but I think they're happy where they are, to be honest. I think they own the market, that they have a monopoly on the market, you know, and they've got their own business models, and that's, you know, making sure they're on manufactured clubs. And that's probably, you know, 90, well, I wouldn't know, but that's a lot of their revenue. I don't think they need to change. I don't think they want to change. I think, you know, they're at a stage where the businesses are very, very old, and to throw a different direction in there might cause them harm. So, you know, I'm here to fill a niche. I'm here to fill a gap that's never been filled, which, again, I don't understand why, but man, it's working, bro. I think 2023 is going to be a really good year.
Oh, definitely.
100%, especially hearing everything that you have planned.
All the stuff that's laid out already is incredible to hear.
And one of the questions I had for you too is this like random hypothetical, but if you had to pick one Aussie golfer between Cam Smith and Adam Scott to be repping RIPIT Grips, where's your money going there if you had to pick?
Oh, dude, Cam Smith every day of the week.
Dude, good answer.
Don't get me wrong. Adam Scott, legend, but very much
Mr. Burberry.
Very much like 10 years ago, generational golfer, you know, like Cam Smith adapted to where we are in terms of the youthful growth of the game. And the dude's just like handles himself insane, man. I can't even believe just like how calm, nice, genuine, you know, there's no beating around the bush. There's no like, and I've never met him in person. So obviously I'm just basing this off everything I've like that you've seen or I've seen, but the dude just seems like, man, I would sit down and have 15 beers with that bloke and shoot the shit, you know, like there'd be, you know, we'd just be chatting the house down. I'm looking forward to it, man. One day, maybe. Now that he's gone to live.
I could see him swinging the RIPIT Grips 100%. He's, I feel like one of those guys too, that's just like full of flair, full of energy too. And like I don't know if you ever saw the video. There's a video of him in a bar after he won the opener, and he is like watching it like on the rerun, and then like having a beer with everybody. They're lifting him up. I was like, that had to have been.
He's still in the same outfit.
Yeah, still in the same outfit. Like that had to have been the coolest experience for not only him but just everyone in the bar. Like that's.
Doesn't he chug
awesome.
from the claret jug then too? Doesn't he throw in the claret jug and then
animal.
Yeah,
dude, it's insane.
Yeah, love him, mate. He's just dude. That's Australian. I mean, like that's just it. He's just like the quintessential Aussie bloke. I mean, it's just like what we do here. You know, obviously not 100% of the population's like that, but that's just the culture. And he just sort of represents us so well without tarnishing us in any way, man. He can do shit like that, and it doesn't tarnish us. It just shows who we are, you know. Yeah, man. He's an ambassador for the Australian golf culture for sure. He's a legend, absolute legend.
So, like growing up, like playing golf in Australia too, what would you compare it to most directly for like the viewers in the US who might have played? Like to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, like golf in Australia almost parallels South Florida with like the winds and all that coming off the water and everything. Is that true?
Yeah.
Or
well, it depends on where you play. So like you guys obviously a lot of like our high profile courses are on the coastline, and like for obvious reasons because it's so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
But man, you know, we have inland courses. Dude, it's so diverse in Australia. It's insane. So we have courses that are exactly like that, sandy Florida style. But then we also have like your Vancouver courses. So like through the hinterland, man, if you check your Brookwater up in southeast Queensland, and things like that, where it's like super undulations, high tee shots through the mountains, through the hinterland. Then we have all of our sandbelt courses down in the Mornington Peninsula, where it's like very like linksy golf. You can reference some of the golf courses over to like similar to Ireland, or you can reference them to similar courses in Florida. Then you have like courses, your farm tracks, so like a lot of like the really good New Zealand courses as well. So we have like your maintained by a group of 10 people courses where you pay an honesty box on arrival. Like how the golf culture here is like from yay to nay. You've got your stiff country club, but you've got your super relaxed, and you've got everything in between. So it's like, to be honest, man, it's like, I don't think you get better. One, we can play 12 months a year, like no qualms at all.
That's
such
and two, the diversification in Australia, like you can surf, and like I know you can do this in California, but man, we're 10 times better than California. You can surf in the morning and snowboard in the Arvo. Like you can do shit like that comfortably. You know what I mean? So, it's just like, man, I love, like, if you haven't been here, you just have to come. It's insane, man. I travel every year. I travel a lot. I've done a lot of travel in the past. I'm yet to come close to anything like my home. And I look, home is where the heart is. I understand that, and I might be biased, but I'm telling you, bro, this country. I mean, look at this, man.
I was gonna say,
this country is insane.
It's like, ridiculous. It's just
incredible.
gorgeous. It looks like turf.
Insane.
I was gonna say we only get that in pictures here. Yeah.
It's just
insane.
like, yeah. Anyway, love it. A lot of pride for Aussies. A lot of pride for Australia.
Sure.
We're not like patriotic in a sense of like that, but we just love what we've got.
Yeah.
And we feel lucky to have it.
Well.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Super cool. So back to the grips, though, there was another question I had for you, just like a curiosity question. What was the first design you had, whether it made it to market or not? What was the first thing that you put on a grip and you were like, okay, we got something. Like, this is it.
Big cat. The big cat,
okay,
man.
okay.
The leopard design. And I know it sort of crosses some boundaries because the big cat's meant to be a tiger, but it was actually around the time period of I've had a mind blank. What was that Netflix series that went absolutely bonkers?
Oh, Tiger King.
Tiger King. Yeah.
The Tiger King. Yeah, dude. So it was actually based around like watching that, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna do a leopard print, and I'm gonna call it the big cat. And that was like very, very early on in terms of like we'd gotten through all of our like sort of like before we did design samples, we were doing colors, and we we're doing like rubber, different rubber composites, and we we're doing different styles. But then we we're like, all right, let's try and bring a leopard print to a grip, and this would be a good tester. So that was the first one we did. Although the problem is, either one, everyone in Australia thinks it's like an Aboriginal design, or two, we actually had Joaquin Neiman think it was like mitochondria or something. Which, dude, was so funny because when he first said that, that was with the Country Club adjacent boys. When he first said that, I was actually super stumped as to like, why would he think it was mitochondria? But then, obviously, recently just released is the full swing vid, and with Pereira, he has like that interview, and they're talking about mitochondria. So I was like, bro, he must have like learnt what mitochondria was during that series, that when that was getting filmed, and then like played golf with my grips the next day and be like, oh, is this mitochondria? And then I think that's where it's come up.
Anyway, it's the powerhouse.
It's meant to be a leopard print.
Got to throw it on a grip.
100%.
Yeah.
Dude, and the Country Club adjacent guys too. They're awesome, man. I think they've done a real good job with what they're doing too, and like obviously playing RIPIT Grips. So super cool.
Yeah. Cool to see that connection there.
Man. So funny, those boys, man. It's just how funny how the golf industry has just changed. How all these boys are just like have more of a following or more like pull in the golf industry than Rory McIlroy, man. It's just just mind-boggling.
It's absurd.
It's so weird.
Right.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I almost like it because it's almost like, or I definitely like it because it's more relatable. Like it's obviously cliche as well, but I mean, just looking at Rory swinging the club or something, just as an example, there's not much I can do like Rory other than play the same club.
Yeah.
But watching the Country Club adjacent guys or good or any of those other content creators, it's just a lot more relatable. And
I was gonna say, it's a lot more like impactful for the viewer to see that, you know what I mean? Instead of, like you said, some tour player or someone who we're never going to play like them, you know what I mean? But we have a chance to play like some of these influencers that 100%. Have the grip in their hand, you know what I mean? It's a lot more of a impactful thing for the customer to see. Yeah.
100%, boys. You nailed it. Like, and it's like those obviously the YouTubers more than anyone. So like your good boys and stuff like that, they're the ones that have really, really got the pull. I've moved into the bedroom, boys, just to get some charge on this phone. But
yeah, do it up. So,
but man, I've actually jumped on board recently. I just got some grips in the hand of one of my all-time favorites that I've watched, which was Ron Chopper. If you guys haven't, if you don't follow or don't watch Ron Chopper on YouTube, start doing it, man. The dude is like Aussie hilarious. Like, again, it's just like another Australian just playing golf how we play golf, and it's definitely worth a watch. So get that one on the list.
I was gonna say we're gonna watch that tonight because I haven't dabbled in that yet. But
yeah, that's
dude,
awesome.
It's that Australian golf. Like, there's something about, like, I'd love to be down in Australia playing some barefoot course and grabbing a Foster's and slugging it down. It'd be a great time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
definitely
100%, man. Yeah, 100%. So on this holiday here, we actually played a course yesterday with my son. We went around and just trailed around, and I'm talking this, like, dude, no word of it, like 200 kangaroos just bouncing around on the course. There's like, and not a single person in sight. We're just banging up and down this course. We're having fun with the kangaroos, sipping on a couple of beers, and just it's such a different vibe, man. It's just like this country.
I'm laughing because I'm like, dude, I see a deer on the course and I feel like I'm at the zoo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, we are outside.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome.
Man, there's joeys literally hanging out of the pouch. Like, there's like joeys hanging out of the pouch, like hanging around. There's like, man, it was really, really cool. It was really cool. But it's funny because we lose perspective, right? When you're involved in something for so long, in terms of, like, obviously being in this location, you don't appreciate it much because it becomes the norm.
Yeah.
But then, like, reiterating the story to boys like yourself, it's just like, fuck yeah, that is cool. You know,
Yeah,
it is
cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
Dude, that's incredible. Yeah.
So, just a quick question too for you. What grips? What designs are you running right now? What's in the bag? What are you? What are you swinging?
So I've got Take a Trip on my driver, my wood, and my driver and wood. Take a Trip, sky blue. Mary Jane on my 2-iron. Then I've got the Geos. I run from a multi of colors from my pitching wedge to my 4-iron. So I swing it out and change it up. I don't know if you just saw, but that content release we did of the black T200s, the new T series.
Okay. Yeah, the Titleist irons.
Yeah. Business expense right there, brother. So now they're in my bag now. And then I've got on my wedges, I run the Marylands, dude. So I love that silky feel on my wedges, and it's mate. I love it, dude. I just love, like, it's weird to say. Anyway, love my own product, dude. I love what I can do in my own product.
Not weird to say. That's proof in the pudding that the product is good. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like think about the teachers in the public school district that send their kids to private school. Do they like their product? They must not. But you're playing your grips. You like your product. You know what I mean? That's the best analogy I think I could have ever came up with on the spot.
Nailed it, bro. Nailed it.
And for the viewers listening to or watching, just so you know, if you want to run something like Todd on your clubs, you guys do offer wedge or wood and driver or wedge sets, and then like an iron set if you wanted to double down and get 3 of one kind of grip or 8 of a kind of grip to fit out your set. So really cool.
Definitely, man. And we've actually got something else coming. It's called the full set too. So in the full set, we'll actually do, as it says, your full set, man. So in that, you're going to have 13 swing grips. You're going to have a putter grip, and you're going to have, you're also going to get a free ball marker and a pack of tees. And the economy on that, in terms of economy of scale on that, in a bundle pack, you're saving like $150. So with the wedge and wood pack, you save as well as a bundle, which is the 3-pack, the iron set, which is 8, you save on that. And then the full set's coming, and I've got new packaging for those coming, boys. And I am like, it's fire, bro. It is legitimately you're going to feel like you're opening up an iPhone, bro. Like, that's the feeling that I want, is like when you're unpacking, either something from Apple or something from a new age, like youthful company, where it's like everything's just beautiful and tidy. Dude, I wanted that in this product, And
I have to say, seeing your packaging online before, it looked great. Like, it's it's cool to see that, like, it's like something doesn't have to be broken to be improved, if that makes sense. Like, your packaging was great, and you're like, you know what, I think we can do a little bit something more. And it's cool to see that, like, it's like you've said, it's an ever evolving game, an ever evolving industry, and you're right there with it, like, churning. So
checking every box, all the details. You know what I mean? Even something down to the packaging. When the people open it, they're opening a premium product. They're going to be opening premium packaging. You know what I mean?
Bro. So, well, the whole, like, if there's one thing I've learned in the other business that we run, it's like from A to Z matters, man. Like don't just put your focus and don't put all of your energy into one component of it. Spread the love. Like everything from our website to the way that our profile looks, to the customer service, to the ordering process, to the packaging, to the product, to then the post purchase service as well. Every single aspect for me needs to be like fucking A++, you know? So, you know, that's how business should be. If you want longevity in something that you do, every single aspect of what you do needs to be good, needs to be perfect, needs to be, you know, quality, needs to be appreciated. So, man, we just put that into RIPIT. We put everything I've learned over these years, I put it all into RIPIT, and yeah, man, it's doing what it should.
Yeah,
100%.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
No, that's super cool. And before we take up any more of your morning, let's just a closeout question for you. What's your main goal for 2023 this year? Like, what is something that maybe, I don't know if it's doesn't even have to necessarily retain something along a new product. It could just be a goal for RIPIT, like something you want to see you do or the company do. And what would that be?
I've got one, man. And I got one, and it started last year, and it was for 2023. And it's the only reason that I came out with the Mary Jane grip, apart from it being fucking rad. But
yeah,
the only reason I came out with the Mary Jane grip is because I wanted Snoop Dogg to use them. So my goal for 2023, man, because he plays some golf. He definitely plays some golf. I want to see him deck his set out with the Mary Jane grips.
Bro,
and that's my
100%.
goal for 2023, boys. So
Dude,
if you've got any contacts, flick him his way.
We'll
if
try.
I ever run by him or something, I'll tell him. I mean, dude, no, that's very, very doable
that's
too.
sick.
I think
That's
that's I could see if Snoop's gonna go get some grips, he's getting those.
I was gonna say, put it this way: he doesn't have them just because he doesn't know about them. As soon as he knows about them, he's gonna buy them. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Right there. That's exactly what's going down. So
For sure.
that's 100% the goal for 2023, man. That's it. Everything else, I just want to happen as organically and naturally as possible, man. I put the effort in on the tail end, and I just let things happen. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That's a great way to look at
Todd,
things. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time this morning to come on and talk with us and the viewers and shed a little light on RIPIT Grips and kind of the mission you guys have and what you guys provide. And I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to watch this and hopefully go out and start ripping up their sets with some RIPIT Grips, you know?
100%. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for taking the time, getting up early. All right. I know this is your time, so maybe that was great. But yeah,
actually, you let us.
I was going to say, you let us
time.
into your time. That's definitely.
Yeah, 100%, man. No, appreciate it, boys. No, I really appreciate it, man. I think it's great meeting with you. Hopefully, I can play golf over there, or you can come over here at some stage. But
100%. If you come to Buffalo, we'll get you some good chicken wings too, and get some good food.
Oh, dude, stop!
That food here is actually worth it. That's why we stay with the weather. The food's
say the food's fantastic. Catch a Bills game maybe or something.
Oh yes, show you the Bills Mafia.
Tick. Yeah, I love it, love it, mate. I'm gonna take you boys up on that one day. You hold on to that,
dude. Anytime you're here,
always
we got
open.
You 100%.
Always open.
1000%.
It was a pleasure, lads.
Cool, man.
All right,
really appreciate it.
See you, boys. Catch up.
All right.